日本時間7日、セントルイス・カージナルスのラーズ・ヌートバー選手が、日本時間7日に行われるロサンゼルス・ドジャース戦に、1番レフトで先発出場。ドジャースの大谷翔平選手も、1番指名打者として出場で、2023年 WBC、侍ジャパンで共に戦った両選手が、それぞれのチームのリードオフマンとして顔を揃えています。試合前には、両選手がセンター付近で約5分間談笑する場面も見られました。笑顔を交えて会話が弾む中、同じく WBC に韓国代表として出場したトミー・エドマン選手も加わり、旧友との再会を楽しんでいる様子がうかがえました。ヌートバー選手は試合前、報道陣の取材に対し、大谷選手について次のように語っています。もちろん、グラウンドでの活躍は信じられないほど素晴らしいが、彼のようなスターが、毎日のようにメディアに取り上げられながら、その期待に応え続けるというのは本当にすごいことだと思う。野球界には素晴らしい選手がたくさんいるが、彼が日々どれほどのものを背負っているかを本当に理解している人はほとんどいない。その中で期待を超えてくること、それこそが一番すごいと思う。また、ドジャースのムーキー・ベッツ選手は、連戦を前に配信されたスポーツメディア、ブリーチャーレポートのポッドキャスト番組、オンベースにヌートバー選手と共に出演。番組内では、大谷選手に対する思いや、WBC での思い出、決勝戦でのマイク・トラウト選手との対決についての率直な感想が語られました。さらに、大谷選手の日本での圧倒的な人気ぶりや、WBC 再出場への意欲についても触れ、今までで一番楽しかった野球だったとヌートバー選手が語るなど、見どころの多い内容となっています。この模様は日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
I am your host Mookie Betts, and today we have my boy Lars Nootbaar. The first Cardinal on the show. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. That's cool. I could have guessed that, but it's cool. It's cool to officially hear that.
So I remember, when I first started, and you came up to me and said you had watched it, and then you didn't really want to come on the show. Why didn't you really want to do it at the time, bro?
I was still hesitant this time around, but I just felt like I hadn't done anything, and that was, I think, in 22 when you guys came to St. Louis, and I said that to you. I remember doing it too. And you just don't want to be that guy that's, fresh in second year being like, oh yeah, I'm on Mookie's podcast coming in. And that year too, we still have Nato, Goldie's MVP year. We got Albert going for 700. Who's this little, rookie going on
that makes sense. I get in the unwritten rule space of baseball.
Yeah,
that definitely fell into it. So shout out to you for following that.
Yeah.
That's being clutch. All right, so what about this? Let's switch gears a little bit. You're hitting leadoff. How is that for you? I want to hear about that because there's an art to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Obviously, what's crazy is, as you know, like when you're hitting there 2 or 3, wherever, you feel like you're getting that bat every inning until like the 6th inning. Like you're like, whether you're in the hole on deck or hitting, you're always there. And for me, I'm more of like old school when it comes to that. Where I like to see like pitches generally, and so for the first month I was walking like crazy to lead off. So it was
you had like 11 walks to it's an 11 walk, 11 game opening walk.
Right. So it was crazy.
Usually I did like a game opening walk. It's like, it feels so good.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I'm on first base. We got nobody out, and like, the arms that we're facing now are nasty. So you're like, all right, one of those out of the way right there. You're like, all right, like whatever. If it's DeGrom or something, you're like, okay, you're on first base. You're helping the team out. Whether it's Mason or Wilson coming up behind me. Donnie's obviously having a great year, but it's just, I don't know, man. You kind of have a different approach about it, but you try not to think about it too much because then you can get a little passive.
What about like Shohei's version of leadoff?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to be Shohei to do that though.
Exactly. Right. And it's like, if I saw him the other day. It was 97 off in first pitch of the game when you guys were in Cleveland, and he went like 150.
Homer.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right. Like,
I do remember that. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's the first game.
I don't know if that's in my bag. So it's like, I'm gonna do what I think I can do well and see some pitches, know the zone a little bit. But you're right. Like when Rizzo was doing it in Chicago for that little bit of time when he was doing it, Jock was doing it for a little bit. And, I think you just have to know your game and then kind of like really dive into that when you're in the leadoff spot.
Yeah. And like, hitting leadoff for so long for me now that I hit second.
Right. Well, yeah. What's that transition like?
It's hard for me sometimes because Shohei, I want him to swing as much as possible.
Right.
Like he should. I don't want him to go up there and walk.
Right.
They're gonna walk him, of course. I wholeheartedly understand it. I wouldn't pitch to him either, but I want him to swing, and then obviously with Freddie behind me,
right.
I want him to swing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want these guys to swing as much as possible. And I'm so used to how I grew up is the same way you grew up as a leadoff hitter. Like we're kind of trying to see pitches, work your at bat,
right.
get into the game a little bit.
Right.
Because like 5 and 6 pitch innings was not a thing.
And I don't know about for you guys. When I was in like little league and stuff growing up, they had pitch counts too. So it's like if you were facing a guy, you're like you want to waste as many pitches as possible. Yeah. But so I mean for you, that's got to be a.
It's kind of tough to know, but I think I take responsibility and just kind of do it. But I don't know. Like some part of me is like, it don't really matter because the pitcher is going to go, 80, 90 pitches, and whoever comes in after is going to be throwing 100.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you might as well just get your swings off. So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
With it. So
no, I know. And I mean, does it free you up when Shohei goes big fly or single or double?
That makes it a lot easier. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But like if he, gets out on
one or two pitches,
one or two pitches, and it's like, man,
you're in your head a little bit thinking about it.
And as soon as I've learned, like as soon as I start to get in my head thinking about it, you shut it down.
Take it.
I take it.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
Because it's like when you're just a little in between and you don't know if you want to swing at this pitch or not,
you can get tick late.
Yep. And you're gonna just miss it or whatever it is. And so I've learned to shut it down. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see if I can change my ways, get some swings off.
I'm gonna go to the hitters meeting today. Be like, hey, pitchers, if Shohei gets out on one pitch, groove that thing down the middle. Moogie's gonna be in his head thinking about it.
All right, so I do want to talk a little bit about you. You play in the WBC for Team Japan. Your mom is Japanese, right?
My mom is Japanese, yes.
And how was that? How was that growing up?
It was cool, man. It was for me, it was the norm. But I think the more I left home and, I understood like the bicultural nature of like my household, right? Like coming in, there's a little room where you put your shoes right away. Like there are no shoes in the house. And, my mom was always cooking up like very traditional Japanese meals. And she a lot of the rules that we had were very like, standard for Japanese. And so it was normal for me, but I think once I started to grow up and then learn more about my buddies and stuff, like it wasn't necessarily the norm, but that's all she knew growing up, and she came here and then her mom and her dad are still in Japan, her sisters are in Japan, and her entire family is still in Japan. And so
do you go back and see them?
Yeah.
Nice.
So growing up we would go like once a year, and then once my brother got into high school, with sports and everything like that, it was getting tough. And then when I got to high school, they came over to the States and hung out with us, and so we were able to do that. But then when the WBC happened, we were really able to they were able to see me play for the first time, and we were able to go over there and hang out. And then now I go once a year, and it's kind of the cool thing is it's kind of connected our family more so than we ever had.
Oh, so it ended up being inadvertently doing something like that.
No doubt. And we communicate more. Like my mom always talked to them, but like for me, I mean, I can't say I communicate with them because I don't speak Japanese, but like I go there and see them, and we're able to hang out. And whether it's my mom or somebody from the agency that we fly over there with, like I'm spending time with them, seeing them, getting FaceTime with them, and like my grandparents are getting older, so it's cool to be able to spend.
So
time
how does that
with them.
conversation go if y'all can't speak? Like, is it just because I know like when I went to Japan, it's like you smile.
100%. Yeah,
like,
right.
But this is your family, so how do you do that with your family?
So it was so funny. So we went there last off season, and my grandpa can't hear that well. So I'm talking. So I'm looking at my aunt, but our interpreter from our agency's there, who has worked with Yamamoto and Roki and them, and so he's translated to my aunt. My cousin is sitting there with her baby, and they bring a whiteboard and a marker everywhere, and she's writing it down and then showing my grandpa. My grandpa then reads it, laughs, does whatever, says something back, and then it's like, so it was like 5 different people are translating this thing, but it's all for family. We loved it. It was great, but and then sometimes, like my aunt or whatever wouldn't even respond and tell my grandpa what they were saying, because she was like, and I'm over it. But but yeah, it's a process for sure.
So because of the WBC, I ain't gonna say because of WBC, but it played a part. Your like fame level shot through the roof.
You could say because of the WBC. Yeah.
It did. Yeah. So tell me about your experience at the WBC, getting to play there, getting to play in front of your fam, getting to play with Shohei.
Yeah.
And Yoshi, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Roki. You got to play with all these guys.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Were you nervous?
Super nervous.
Yeah, me too when I was my first. Yeah.
Super nervous. Like, going over there, obviously being, Tommy too. Tommy was the first American-born Korean to play over there. And so I was the first American-born Japanese, and my mom was like, listen, there's certain things like you gotta you can and cannot do. And so I'm on the flight over, and I'm like, dude, I cannot embarrass my family. Like, I cannot let Japan down, my family. Like, this cannot go bad. Like, if we lose, we lose, but like I can't do anything to disrespect my family.
What could that possibly be?
Just mannerisms, like the way you act.
Slam your helmet or something.
Do something like that, or even simple, right, during the national anthem. Just like my mom was like, make sure you're doing all the right things. Like she's because she's like, it's the rules are different over there, and so I'm nervous, and she's like, you better be respectful of the team. Everybody, they are all more important than you, kind of like you're the guest, and I'm like, all right, and I get over there. And Shohei comes over and he's like, hey, how's your family? And I'm like, good. And then as I'm getting closer to these guys, like Yoshi's taking me out to eat, and I'm talking to him, and I was like, hey, my mom's telling me we're going to be bowing to the field and, before and after practice. And I was like, are we going to be doing that? And they were like laughing, like, bro, your mom is so old school. Like, we don't do none of that anymore. It's more relaxed. So I was like, oh, okay, good. And that part of it was cool. But, it was, what was really cool was that everybody saw Shohei do his thing and with the Angels and stuff, but I feel like I benefited greatly from the WBC, but I thought he did too, with the Trout and him battle at the end. Next year he goes out and wins AL MVP unanimously, and seeing him take BP, because I don't know how often he takes BP.
Never.
Right?
He never does, but I mean,
he did it in Japan. Did he do it for the Tokyo series when you?
No, it was just too much. For him, it's really just too much.
Yeah.
He can't really take steps.
He can't.
And there's everybody in the world wants to be famous, right?
Yeah.
Until you see a famous person have to live how they have to live their life, and how Shohei has to live, it's man, that kind of sucks.
The MJ doc that came out during COVID, where he's sitting there in his room smoking a cigar, I can't leave my that's really him.
That's Shohei. That's literally him.
And
but it is what it is.
Kudos to him. I mean, and listen, he handles it obviously amazingly, and he's happy and does everything. But in Japan, it's he cannot move. No, so it's crazy.
Tell me about that battle. Did you even think about, especially that 9th inning with Shohei taking them out? Being on Shohei's team now, if there was a 9th inning with Shohei taking the mound, I couldn't be more positive that we won. So that you're gonna win.
Oh, that Japan was gonna win.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying from your on the Dodgers, I'm saying on the Dodgers right now, if Shohei took them out in the 9th inning, we're winning. We won.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your perspective from it.
Yeah. you know,
and not just about Shohei, but your perspective.
Yeah, right. Like he's coming in the game, and it feels like this surreal moment. Like in the moment, you're like, wait, this is like, what is going on right now? Like this is crazy. And he's jogging out, and you're like, this guy's a freak. But you're right. Like I was like, in that moment, I was like, I don't know anybody else in the world after seeing him for the past 2 to 3 weeks that I would want being on this mound.
Yeah.
And so he goes out there, whatever, and then, you know, gets to Trout.
Yep.
And
it was McNeil walked. I hit into a double play, and then
were you
Trout.
leading off? And McNeil was 9-hole. You were 1. Trout was 2. Goldie 3.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody's excited, right? We get 2 out. Everybody's excited, and I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, I don't think you guys realize like. This is Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if something happens with Mike Trout, like we got Goldie, who's the MVP, who's the reigning MVP, and then we got Otto or Schwarber, whoever it was, and I'm like, so I'm sitting there like, oh my God. And then they start going at it. And then I'm seeing Shohei hit 100, 101, 102 in the at-bat, ripping National Series. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm in the outfield like focused, but at the same time, like I'm like a fan. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, he hit him with like an 87, 88 mile an hour sweeper that broke like 2 feet. Yeah.
Whatever. And so
whatever.
I mean, it's just
he's a freak.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can really say,
Yeah.
you know. So what do you have? Where's your gold medal now?
At my parents' house.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I gave that one to my mom. Just
nice. Okay.
Yeah,
so she keeps it.
She keeps it. Yeah. I mean, that was like an ode to her. I felt like she deserved it, you know, because without her, I'm not eligible for the team or any of it,
sure,
you know.
For sure. So are you going to play again?
I hope so. Yeah, I would like to. And it seems like, are you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that playing in that is, you know, I ain't gonna argue. I think it's the most fun I've ever really had playing baseball.
Yeah,
like, you know,
I
you
agree.
never really get that atmosphere that much.
Yeah.
Games that, like we play 162,
Right.
like those games are like every game meant something, you know, and you're only playing, 2 weeks worth of ball, really.
Right.
So
that quarter, what was it, the quarterfinals against
Venezuela.
When Trey Turner hit that.
Oh man, dude, because we were hurt. Because I think if we lost, we were out.
You were out.
We were out.
Yeah.
So like we're down, and you feel it. Like you can feel it because both teams are, you know, giving it everything they got, and they were up, and you could feel it. And we just started kind of slowly built the inning, and then you just get to a spot where you just need something to happen.
Right.
Like you just
Right.
And a homer was like not in anybody's real cards, but homer. And then that moment is probably some of the most joyous. You know, I had I was on deck. I think I was on deck. So I was hitting next. And I remember like not even focusing on hitting because I was so emotional from
what just happened.
What just happened, yeah. So.
I remember, seeing your whole team like at home plate. It's like Little League style.
Yeah,
like for the fans that don't understand, like, oh, the WBC doesn't mean that much. Like, watch players and their reactions during that tournament and tell us that it doesn't really matter to us, at least. Like, maybe it doesn't matter as much to you guys, but like for the players, we're not getting paid.
No, we're not getting
paid. Nothing matters
for that.
about it.
Nope.
It's just strictly ball.
It's pure fun and
just
play
winning.
for your country. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, if I hit a leadoff homer or Shohei hit a leadoff homer or whatever, now clap, boom, boom, boom. Right. But if you hit a leadoff homer in the WBC,
it's nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
it's the same thing, completely different. So